Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, my name is Brad. This is my channel Animate Orange, where I build a lot of 3D metal models and show you how I do it. Today on the table, another ICONX build, the larger models from Metal Earth. We have the London Eye, and I've been trying to build this off and on for the past year, and I'm finally getting around to it. Let's open this up, see what's inside, and see if it's going to be as awesome as I think. The London Eye, another ICONX model, and it looks like making the main thing is not going to be that difficult. It's going to be all these little cars. Other people can do it, so can I. Speculation also, I haven't opened it up. So let's cut this little piece of tape here. And, oh look, I forgot, there's an inside. Anyway. I always want to cooperate pulling them out, and this one kind of proves me wrong. Dump everything out here. Ta-da! We have another set of tweezers. This complementary pair of tweezers is helpful to bend and twist the connection tabs. They are. I really like these. I know some people don't care for them as much, but I really like them. I'm going to save those for later. We have two long sheets, which is what I'm accustomed to. We have most of it, looks like it's the wheels, and that's really, that black piece is really keeping you from seeing it. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of very thin, delicate looking cars. So this is going to be time consuming, but it's going to look great. They always do. I'm going to slide this to the side. Put it back in the little piece of cardboard for protection for now. And let's have a peek at the instructions. One of these sides opens, I'm sure of it. In the ICONX kits usually have the longer pieces of paper. I'm going to fold it in half so we can just focus on the top half, one half at a time. Top half we have the London Eye, the line drawing, the bit about, blue circle is folding tabs, green triangle is twisting tabs, pointing out tabs, slots and fold lines. Needle nose pliers are helpful for assembly, so very much the same as Metal Earth. You have one of the metal sheets here. I'm going to have to dig that back out, I just know it. And this is showing you the part numbers, pointing at the parts, so you can find them. And as you can see, there's a lot of 12 because, well, that's repeated a lot. And then over here on this side we have the other sheet, like so. Same thing, it's pointing to where all the different parts are. Again, I'm going to put this up. Below that, we start the assembly steps with step 1. Part 1, part 2. You use 2 part 1s and a part 2. And fold and connect, and there you go. Step 2, you've got 4 part 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4. They connect to, looks like this. There you go. Going down to the bottom half and over to step 3. So they treat these in quarters like the older Metal Earth instructions. Step 3, 4 and 5 coming together. You've got step 2 connecting here. Step 4, you're building something new. Step 5, something new. Step 6, you've got step 4 and 5 coming together with more parts, and you just follow the arrows. Step 7 is showing you how to build the cars. 24 cars. Once we're done there, we go to the back. So put this inside out. See if this is correct. Yes, done. Step 8, we put all the different part 7s on these long strips, curve them together, connect it to this, to 14. Over here in step 10, we finalize the parts. Almost finalized. Bring that together. Down to the bottom corner, 11, we're bringing together steps 9 and 10 to form this, and 14, and here we got that. And then step 12, we're adding it to the base, and we're all done. Let's take a moment to talk about the tools that I use. This is my standard set that I use in most every build. I have long needle nose pliers and flat nose pliers, useful for a variety of different things. I have flush clippers that I use to cut the parts off the trees. It makes it quick and easy. And then I have some precision tweezers, one with a very pointed end, one that's had the pointed end ground down slightly, and one with a flat, sort of curved end. Great for getting into curved areas. And then I have a standard set of tweezers with an angled tip. These come in one of the ICONX models, and I love them and use them a lot. When it comes to shaping rounded parts, there are many options. I used dowel rods for a long time. I sharpened the ends of 2 of them with a pencil sharpener. These 2 are great for making cone shapes. Another option is a cheap drill bit set. This set has quite a few different sizes to choose from. Another option is a set of step mandrels. For shaping ball shapes or dome shapes, I've got this fondant set, I believe it's called. I found it by accident, but essentially it's got different sized spears on the end of a stick, so it's easy to hold on to it while you put a part on it and shape it around, unlike a bead or marble that could accidentally pop out from under you and cause problems. Got the metal sheets. We've taken a peek at the instructions. I'm not sure what all I'm going to need. Not yet. I haven't built it. Let's put this together.
I had to hold the metal at the joint of part 1 to keep it from bending in the wrong place. This piece had an odd blemish on the silver. I'd not seen such before. Some of it scraped off, and this spot will end up pretty well hidden after it's assembled, so I'm not worried too much about it, but it was strange and interesting. After over 150 models, I'd not seen a blemish like that before. These tabs on part 3 were a challenge to bend over. The part was so small and there is not much to hold on to. I had to just be patient and keep sort of picking at the tab until it bent enough to finish off with the tweezers. I have an old habit of using the table to fold over long edges like the ones here, and just kind of push against the table and bend the flaps or edges all at once. This one tab at the top doesn't seem to quite line up correctly. I found both sides of the structure had the same problem. You might have to pinch these tabs in a little to allow room for part 11 to fit over them. This one bottom tab was cumbersome to get to. It's a tight space and other tabs were sort of getting in the way. Things seem to not want to line up here either. And so begins several minutes of clipping and trimming just to get individual cars out. Yeah, I'm going to skip over a lot of this. Now to figure out just how I'm going to shape these cars. That didn't turn out too bad. Lots of subtle shaping with my fingernails for this one. After a little trial and error, here's my method for shaping the cars. I use a drill bit, pencil, or other similar object to shape the circular part and secure the tab. Bend up the two connecting arms, sort of out of the way. Then, if you have something similar to the tool that I have, you can use it to sort of start shaping the curved shapes on the side, or even a large pen or paintbrush with a rounded end. Then carefully bend and curve things up into place using your fingers or fingernails. Of course, if you discover a method that works better for you, go for it. I will not bore you with the assembly of all 24 cars. You will need to spread the connecting supports a little to attach the cars. I found it helpful to bend one of the tabs, at least one of the tabs, in just a little bit to help it slide into its slot easier. And basically repeat to make the other half with the rest of the cars on part 13. I used an old stain can to put a curve on the two halves of the wheel. I could have gone for something a little smaller, but adding the side parts will help pull things into shape. I bent these tabs a little more than 90 degrees so that they would be easier to pinch shut when placed in their slots. I started attaching part 14 by securing two side-by-side tabs and then working my way around the circle, taking it one tab at a time. To quickly and easily bend these two tabs over, I pinched them together. Later, I realized I should have bent them outwards to make room for a later part that allows the wheel to turn. I suggest bending all the outer tabs inward before attaching the next part. The last tab was stubborn and did not want to go into its spot. Don't forget to sort of pinch in all the outer framing of the wheel. And we have it all finished and complete. The London Eye. I got a bit of a shaky hand today. This thing is not quite as large as I expected it to be. It's not small, but it's not that much bigger than the regular Ferris wheel. I expected it with being an ICONX it would be considerably larger. You have the regular Ferris wheel here, and it really isn't that much bigger. It's almost the same size, so that is just a little bit disappointing for me to see how close in size they are for an ICONX model. I'm just a little bit disappointed. I'm a little disappointed in the size of it, but it still was a fun build. It still was a fun challenge. It wasn't overwhelming or frustratingly difficult. So like many of the models, it was fun to do, and it is rewarding in the end because you end up with a very neat looking model. There is some frustration, not just with the fact that it's not quite as large as I'd hoped, but some of the alignment of some of the tabs on the structure that holds it up, and the fact that those cables are kind of loose and wobbly, and I don't see any way to really tighten those. It's a little disappointing, but that sometimes happens. It's still a pretty neat looking model and still fun to build, so I definitely recommend it. If you enjoy building these models, don't skip it. Don't get too excited about it, but don't skip it. Now, it took me about 2.5 to 3 hours to build, and I'm kind of guessing a little bit. Usually I tell how long it takes to build the model by how much footage I've recorded. I just leave the camera going. I did let it stop for a little while during this because honestly 24 of the same cars over and over and over again, I saved myself a little hard drive space and just let the camera stop for a while, because after 3 or 4 times you get the picture, and I didn't want to just continuously record. So I'm guessing about 2.5 to 3 hours, maybe a little longer. Mostly just putting those cars together. So it's really not, for an ICONX model, that's not that long. That's fairly quick, because they can get to be pretty long models, and I've got some ones coming up I think are going to take quite a bit longer than that. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. If you like these build videos, you'd like to support the channel, and I would appreciate just a small gift, check out my Patreon to become a Patreon supporter. There's a link in the description down below and at the end of this video where you can become a Patreon supporter. Just give a little bit, but you don't have to really give anything at all. I'm going to keep doing this as best I can. A little bit of support will help me to bring more interesting builds, but I'll keep going either way. As always, thank you for watching, and keep on keeping on.